In the heart of the ancient city of York, nestled in the shadow of its magnificent minster, stands an elegant building that has been the centre of the city's history for centuries, York Mansion House. Its grand Georgian facade and stately presence are a testament to York's prosperous past, but beneath its refined exterior, the mansion house is rumoured to harbour a far more unsettling legacy, one of restless spirits and dark secrets. Visitors who venture into its opulent rooms often do so for the chance to explore the history of the building, once home to the Lord Mayor of York. Yet, for those who stay too long or venture too deep into the house's secrets, the mansion house has an unsettling reputation for strange happenings and ghostly encounters. The history of York Mansion House stretches back to the late 18th century, where it was built to serve as the official residence for the Lord Mayor of York. Over the years, the mansion house has hosted lavish gatherings, important dignitaries, and countless politicians. Yet behind the opulent curtains and luxurious furnishings lies a much darker side to the building's past. The mansion house sits upon land that was once the site of several earlier structures, including a medieval manor house that was home to the wealthy and powerful families of the area. It is believed that the mansion's foundations are steeped in a history of political intrigue, betrayal, and violence. The land on which the mansion house sits was witness to brutal conflicts, particularly during York's turbulent past in the 16th and 17th centuries, when the city was a battleground during the English Civil War. However, it is the events that occurred within the mansion's walls, after the construction of the present building, that are said to have contributed to the building's eerie reputation. The mansion house has long been associated with strange occurrences and paranormal activity, believed by some to be the result of a tragic event that occurred in the early 19th century. Perhaps the most famous ghost that haunts York Mansion House is the apparition of a woman in white. The identity of this ghostly figure remains a mystery, but her presence is undeniable. Many who have visited the mansion house or worked there overnight have reported seeing a tall, slender figure of a woman dressed in a flowing white gown, gliding silently through the rooms and corridors. Some claim to have seen her standing by the grand staircase, looking down at them from above with an expression of sorrow and longing. One of the most chilling encounters occurred when a visitor, during a late evening tour, noticed the figure standing in one of the drawing rooms. Thinking it was another guest, the visitor approached the figure to introduce themselves. However, when they drew closer, they saw that the woman's face was pale and gaunt, with hollow eyes. Before they could speak, the figure vanished, fading into the shadows of the room. The air was described as freezing cold, despite the warmth of the summer evening outside. Further accounts from employees of the mansion house report that the lady in white is most frequently seen on the upper floors, particularly in the ballroom and the drawing room. Staff working late into the night often report hearing faint footsteps echoing down the hallways and the unmistakable sound of a woman's soft crying. When they search the rooms, no one is to be found, but the sense of sorrow and desolation lingers long after the cries have stopped. Though the lady in white remains the most well-known apparition in the mansion house, there are whispers of another ghost that roams the halls, the restless spirit of a former Lord Mayor. According to local legends, the ghost of a Lord Mayor from the early 1800s still haunts the mansion house, drawn back to the place where he once resided. The Lord Mayor, described as an elderly man with a long white beard and dressed in old-fashioned robes, is said to appear in the rooms where the city's political meetings once took place. Several members of staff have reported seeing the figure standing near the fireplace, as though deep in thought. Others have described encountering him near the grand dining table, where he would have hosted important dignitaries and politicians. Some claim that on occasion they have heard faint rumours and murmurs of conversation, as though the ghost is discussing matters of great importance, though no one else is present. One particularly chilling encounter occurred when a tour guide was giving a late night tour of the mansion house. As they entered one of the rooms, they noticed an older man standing near the window, staring out into the courtyard. Thinking he was a late arriving visitor, the guide greeted him. However, as they approached, the man turned and disappeared into the shadows, vanishing without a trace. The room was empty when the guide entered, and there were no doors or exits for the man to have slipped through. While many of the ghostly encounters in the mansion house are associated with specific rooms, the building's grand staircase also holds a dark and chilling presence. Visitors who have ascended or descended the magnificent staircase often report a sudden drop in temperature as they approach the top or bottom of the stairs. Staff members have described the sensation of an invisible force brushing past them as they pass the banister, accompanied by the distinct sound of soft footsteps on the staircase above them. When they look up, however, the staircase is empty. The feeling of being watched is also common, with some visitors saying they feel as though eyes are following them as they move up or down. This sensation is particularly intense when they reach the landing near the top of the stairs, where the presence of something unseen seems to linger. One particularly eerie experience occurred when a guest was ascending the staircase during a private event. They reported that, as they reached the top of the stairs, they felt a hand press against their back, gently pushing them forward. When they turned around, no one was there. The sensation of being touched was so real that the guest was left shaken and uncomfortable for the remainder of the evening. In addition to the apparitions, York Mansion House is also known for poltergeist activity, with objects mysteriously moving or falling when no one is around. Chairs have been seen to shift across the floors, and candles are often found extinguished when no one has touched them. One night, a member of staff reported hearing the sound of something heavy being dragged across the floor in an empty room. When they investigated, no explanation could be found. Or found, should I say, my bad. There are also frequent reports of the sound of music echoing through the building, particularly in the evenings when the mansion house is quiet and empty. The haunting strains of a piano or soft violin music can be heard wafting down the hallways, even though no one is playing. Some believe that the sound is connected to a long departed musician who once entertained guests in the mansion house's grand ballroom. York Mansion House, with its regal architecture and rich history, is a place where the past and present collide. Though it has served as a residence, a place of civic duty, and a museum, it is also a site that holds the memories and spirits of those who lived and died there. The ghosts that haunt this grand building, whether the Lady in White, the Lord Mayor, or the unseen forces that move objects and make themselves known through strange noises, are a testament to the building's long and often troubled history. For those who visit, the mansion house offers a glimpse into York's grand past, but it also serves as a reminder that the spirits of the past are never far behind, watching and waiting. For some, the haunting is part of the charm, adding an air of mystery to the otherwise majestic surroundings. For others, it is an unsettling reminder that even in places of grandeur, the echoes of history can never fully be silenced.